Hello and good afternoon and welcome to another update from BJ Kerno. So just a quick update on what I've been up to over the last few weeks. So it's the last of the holidays, so I thought I'd get a quick video up just showing some of my progress on my late war Germans for bolt action and for Conflikt 47. So the other week they had quite a good deal off in Aldi for an airbrush, so I picked one up and I've been playing with the airbrush over the last few weeks, and hopefully I've sort of got a semi idea of how to use it. So if you've got any hints or tips, then please leave some comments below in the after the video. So that's great. So first of all, these are a couple that I've painted by hand. So we've got a Panzer, so that was painted by hand. So I was quite pleased with the results on that, and so that's for my late war Germans. So this is from Bolt Action, I believe. So the kit went together really well. It's a straight standard Hanomag with some additional bits for the crew and the flame guns. So yeah, really pleased with that. So that's the first one. The second one is a straightforward Hanomag. Got some crew to put in there. I've put on some stowage from a guy who you can buy these on eBay. They're resin, but again they look really good once added to the vehicle. So again, this is one pre-airbrush, so pleased with the way it turned out, and so that's another one of my Hanomags for my Panzer Grenadiers. So then we're going to move over to the latest tank that I've painted up. So a Stug. I took an old bandage that I had in the medicine cabinet that is well out of date, so I put that on the side as a bit of netting, a bit of camouflage netting, and attached it around the barrel. Again, it's a Warlord Games Italeri tank. Added some stowage onto it, gave it a metal crewman, and again, really pleased with the way this has come out. This is with an airbrush, so again, please leave some comments to sort of give me a few hints and tips. I need to weather it a little bit more on the front and the sides, but that's something I'll probably do later on tonight. But overall, quite pleased with the way that's come out. So moving along, this is something that's also airbrushed, which is another Hanomag. So for my Panzer Grenadiers, this time it's a Pioneer one. I've just got to reattach the machine gun on the back of the vehicle, and I've given it a crewman looking out over the top, surveying the battlefield. So again, Warlord Games. However, this time I bought a half track from Rubicon, which came with loads and loads of bits. So I built that as a standard Hanomag, and I added the Pioneer bridging poles onto this one. So again, it just gives it a bit more character and a bit of interest. Now this again is one that I've airbrushed, so fairly pleased with it. It took a few goes. It's not as easy as it looks. It needs a wash on that tarp, and I've got to give it a bit of washing on the fuel caps, fuel cabinets, fuel containers, and on the bridging logs on the side of the vehicle. Again, these are from eBay, so really pleased where they look on the tank. So overall, yeah, I think it's good. Definitely tabletop standard. So we'll see how it goes. Then we've got this monster, which is from West Wind Miniatures. So excuse me. This is West Wind Miniatures. It's one of their early Macs. So I found it in the garage, so I thought I would just paint it, stick it together. Not airbrushed, so it's just put together with some really good strong super glue, because it's quite a chunky piece. I've added it onto a stand just because it makes it a little bit better and gives it a bit more interest. So yeah, really pleased with the way this has turned out. It's a solid old model. I've just picked up the rules for Konflikt 47, so I should be looking at how I can use that moving forward. So also not just been painting tanks, I've also been painting a few infantry. So I've got a nice what are they called? It's not a bazooka. It is, and it will come to me probably in the middle of the night, and I'll be screaming it out. But it's a anti-tank weapon. So yeah, again, really pleased. Just been watching a few YouTube clips on how to paint Germans. So that just needs basing, and it's done. So pleased with that. Now originally I had this vehicle earmarked for my early war Germans, but I think it looks better in Dunkelgelb with some camouflage that I've added onto it. So this is some any scale models. It's 156, and again you can get them on eBay, really quite reasonably priced under the seller Waylander. So yeah, really pleased with how that's turned out. So that's a bit of scenery, and what's good about it is you can in the game you could just pop an infantryman in there as taking cover before he sort of pops up and takes a shot. So it's a good bit of kit. So the next few bits that I'm going to show off today is from a company that I sort of stumbled across on eBay, and I thought, oh, the price was pretty good, so I thought I'll give it a go. So these tanks have been 3D printed in recycled plastic. They're from I think it's the UK 3D factory company. So I've got a Jagdpanzer 4, a Hanomag, a 38T for my early war Germans, because if you remember in a few videos ago I showed off my early war Germans and was sort of saying that it was never finished, so I bought a 38T for that, and also the King Tiger himself, so that's going to be for my late war Germans. So I'll show them off in a bit more detail and see what you think. I mean, overall this one's been I've been playing with the airbrush on this one, but overall quite pleased with the chip. They were really well priced. They were really well priced for the fact they're recycled plastic. There's a few blemishes, but to be fair, on the tabletop I'm not going to worry too much about it. It's about having a bit of fun with some plastic. So it's going to, once I've learned how to give this a fairly good camo scheme, I'm going to do that, and then I'll show it off. But overall, really quite pleased with it. It's quite light, quite durable. It's been dropped on the floor a few times. It's never going to win, you know, the kit's never going to win Golden Demon or its equivalent at Salou, but it's a wargaming piece, and it's designed to be dropped, thrown around, and overall quite pleased. So the next one along is this little reconnaissance vehicle. Again, started building it. The front part of it, yeah, it could be better, but for what I paid for it, it'll do. By the time I've added some foliage on the front to hide that up, it'll look quite good. So this is one of the later ones with the airbrush. So again, I was quite pleased with this. So once this is completed, I'll show that off with my late war Germans. So the 38T, again, really nice little kit that came with. That's again really quite reasonably priced. It's a two-piece kit. The turret rotates nicely. It's got a nice big solid peg to use. It spins around quite nicely, and overall the moulding's been quite decent on it. And I think I'll go back and buy a few more. Maybe not 38Ts, but also some of the vehicles. They've got Shermans and all sorts of grand things. The only thing that I think is I like to put crewmen in my kit. I know if you watch Derp, he quite often says, do you know, I'm not going to put the crew in there, but I like to see a crewman pop out because it gives it a bit of character and a bit of interest. In the middle there, I've got a observer team that I've just started to put together. So this guy here is looking out across the battlefield. Someone's giving coordinates on a map, and matey lying down's got a radio and is about to signal and give away his position with a flare gun. So he's probably not the cleverest on the squad, but it is what it is. And finally, we were going to show off the King Tiger. So this is a real beast of a kit, and again, considering what I paid for it, it'll look really good on the battlefield. It's a solid piece of plastic. The turret rotates. The details reasonably good on it, and again, by the time I've added some tracks and some stowage and given it a good camouflage scheme, against its counterparts from Warlord, and from resin ones. It's a gaming piece. It will look good when it's painted, and providing you're not expecting it to win major painting competitions, then it's fine, and it'll be enjoyable to play with and do. So I hope you've enjoyed the update. It won't be long before the evenings draw in again, and it'll be back on to Napoleonics. I nearly picked up a box of French in anger to put together 2 nights ago, but I resisted and carried on playing with the late war Germans. So I hope you're pleased with it, and look forward to seeing your comments in the back. Cheers for now. Bye.